Okay, so we're doing some flash editing, guys. I definitely got some things for you guys. We got the talented, the one, the only, Kara Edwards. She's an amazing voice actress. You've heard her in projects like Dragon Ball Z. You've heard her in Hello Kitty, My Hero Academia, and much, much more. We're gonna ask Kara a few questions. We're not gonna hold up much of her time, but yeah, Kara sent a lot of footage answering our questions, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, and she's gonna show us a lot of love.
Hi there, Kara Edwards here. So this message is for the creators. I'm a creator, so I respect the heck out of creators, man. Anyways, I was just reading your super sweet message, and it sounds like you were putting together an event for content creators, which I could probably learn some stuff. I'm a terrible content creator as a creator. I have a son who wants to be a content creator someday. We'll see. But it sounds like a really cool event that you're putting together. And so you guys got together and you put together 3 questions, but there's actually 4 questions. I just had to point that out, you know?
All right, now, Kara, here, I'm going to stop you right here. So listen, I was supposed to update the top part when we were like, okay, we can ask her more than 3 questions, but I never did it. You know, I was just excited. I was tired. I was like, you know what? We're just going to hit send it to her, and let that be that. And it didn't end up being the case. So there is an error in the message that I sent Kara, trying to be professional and ask her for a mini interview, and she pointed it out hilariously. Thank you, Kara, for making me feel that much more dead inside.
That out, you know? But they're like really good questions, really good questions. So I'm going to read them and answer them one by one. And here we go. So here's the thing. I did not think about my answers before I hit record. So this is all going to be off the cuff. I actually was like, this is recording, right?
So the first question that we asked Kara is, what's your favorite part about being a voice actress?
It is an absolute, there's a 3-way tie here, guys. There's a 3-way tie. It's going to be a 3-way tie between the amazing fans that I've gotten to meet, because I've gotten to meet some really special, really cool people. On that exact same note, my fellow voice actors are literally like family to me. We get our kids together, we hang out together. The amount of genuine love and support for each other. Yes, there's competition in any type of art like this, but we don't feel it. We genuinely want each other. We want us all to succeed. So there is so much true care and love between everybody, which is, I don't know if it's like that in all industries, and it's really cool in ours. The third thing would literally just be the acting. I'm a performer. I've been a performer my entire life. I literally don't know a world where I'm not creating something. In my spare time, this might be an upcoming question, so I may be about to spoil it. But in my spare time, I like to make jewelry. I am a photographer. I rescue animals. I'm super into plants. I have a huge garden. So there's just a lot, I don't know. It's just cool. We're performers. And so actually getting to perform is the best part. And when we get to sink our teeth into roles that really resonate, with us, you don't forget the experiences. The recording experience itself is just so cool and special. Okay.
All right. The second question we ask her is, who is your favorite character that you've played?
Okay, so I used to have this standard answer that I would always say, choosing a favorite character is like choosing a favorite child. It depends on the day. It depends on the episode. It depends on what's happening, what the recording experience was like. So I still stand by that, or I did. until I recorded Hello Kitty Super Style, and I literally light up. It's on Amazon Kids Plus. You may or may not have seen it, but Pinky and Zing are the two characters I voice. There was literally never a bad day where I was getting to work with our incredible director, Mary, on that show. And it was literal sunshine. The character is hilarious. I would be glowing after every session that I have. So I just have, well, I can literally sit here and make a case for every character I have ever voiced. Pinky probably is my favorite as far as the most fun I've ever had. But then it would be like immediately followed next by Goten and Videl from Dragon Ball Z. Just the longevity that I've had with those characters is so incredible and unheard of, truly, in our industry. And so getting to like truly know them and feel like they're genuinely a part of me and a part of my life. Goten I see as a legacy to my son. Videl I see as just like literally a carbon copy of myself. We're so similar, and getting to bring those aspects of your life into a character role is like, I don't know why I'm holding a pen, but I am now, is truly one of just, oh, it's so freaking cool.
Okay, so this one is me pulling from message boards years ago, back when I was still watching the Boo Saga. There were rumors Goten was created to replace Goku and become the new main character. Hypothetically, how do you think he would have fared as Earth's top protector?
Earth's top protector would have been the freaking best, man. Are you kidding me? Goten, I'm screaming. Goten is, my dog just looked at me like, is everything okay, Mom? Goten is literally the most fun. Also, he's the strongest. Like, he literally is the strongest. He was flying and going Super Saiyan before Gohan ever was. He's whip smart, man. He's funny. He's got so much going on. I've always wished that like we could see so much more of Goten, because he is such a fun, truly, genuinely fun character. So that's what I think would happen. What do I think? How would he fare? Oh my God, he'd kill it. Think about when they fought Boo. Like he and Trunks, and when they fused together and they figured that out, even though I know there were some mistakes along the way. No, he always finds a way. Like, I don't know, even if they don't save the Earth, because it's always Goku who has to save Vegeta. But even still, like, he always finds a way to get in there and help things out. And he does it with a positive attitude. Or I actually should say, he does it with a positive attitude, right?
But anyway, the question that we ask her is, do you have any advice for the next generation of actors? And this is what Cara gives you. And please, y'all, put a pen out and write it down.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you my 2 best pieces of advice, and they have nothing to do with acting. First of all, take an acting class. You already know that. What else? Take acting classes from the people who can help you get roles. You already know that. So, the thing nobody tells you. Learn about business. I know, how boring. What a boring answer. Boy, I didn't know that when I went full-time. And I went full-time, it's been like 19 years. It's crazy. I'm old. So when you're really trying to do this, don't switch over to full-time voice acting until you're making more money as a voice actor than you are in your day job. Advice number 1. Advice number 2 would be absolutely learn about business. You got to know how to set up a business account, how to run a business, how exactly to handle write-offs and handle them legally. There's so many things business-wise, how to send an invoice, there's so much that how to market, how to brand, how to blah, blah. So the business stuff, learn as much about the business stuff as you can. What else? Social media. Oh, I shouldn't say this to content. I'm a voice actor. Content creators, but social media, man, it can get in your head. I don't know why I'm needing this pen to teach this lesson, but it will get in your head, and you have to be. I have to be like, we see so much negativity and so much hard stuff, and you have to be able to still go in there and perform and not let that affect you. So Set aside a time during the day, and I'm not talking about the content the fun stuff that you get to see on YouTube or whatever. I'm talking about like the kind of nasty comments that you see on like Twitter, Xter. So just set aside a time if you want to look at it, and then otherwise don't look at it. So I think I've answered all the questions. Ba, 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 ba. Do I get a reward or something? Anyways, I just got out of the booth. I just recorded a very long narration. My throat is very dry, so and actually I'm recording this in my kitchen and not in the booth, which is what I normally do. But anyways, thank you for great questions. I hope your event is a raging success. I hope I made this video so long that it'll take you 47 hours to edit it. Just kidding. I just looked down and realized I've been talking a really long time. So I'm going to go drink some water and some throat coat tea and rest my voice. There, see? Another piece of advice. Even more. Okay, happy event. And thank you for your amazing, amazing questions. Bye.
So yeah, thank you so much, Kara Edwards. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and addressing us, the next and up and coming creators, actors, and things of that nature. A person of your caliber, man. Thank you so much. That was very amazing, and that's very cool. And we got plenty more, guys. Please, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
So many months, so many promises. You lied to me, I trusted you. It's hard to find someone else. My heart was broken in spite of you. Didn't ask if you even care. Is this what you do? Playing mind games? Well, baby, I'm not in that range. Just know that, just know that, just know that. Why you stuntin', why you frontin', baby? All that ish don't mean nothing. Show some emotion, just stop acting lifeless. This is priceless, this is priceless. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be awful, I'll do what I have to do to prove my love to you. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be awful, I'll do what I have to do to prove my love to you. The memories, down on my knees, begging you to let's start over. You're feeling me, I'm feeling you. So baby, what's the hold up? I'm so confused. You love me, then you hate me. It is mutual. What is the problem? 'Cause we can fix them. I just want your hands around me. Why you stuntin', why you frontin', baby? All that ish don't mean nothing. Show some emotion, just stop acting lifeless. This is priceless, this is priceless. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be okay, I'll do what I have to do to prove my love to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be awful, I'll do what I have to do to prove my love to you. Why are you really gonna do me like this? This is crazy. Oh, why do you think I held on for so long? 'Cause I know we got so long, baby. Why are you really gonna do me like this? This is crazy. Oh, why do you think I held on for so long? 'Cause I know we got so long, baby. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be awful, I'll do what I have to do to prove my love to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it was my choice, I'll make a better decision next time. I won't be awful, I'll do what I have to do
on to your seats, folks, because we've got an incredible interview with none other than the author of Late Nights on Broadway, the talented Ernest Sandifer.
Record and we live. Not really, but you know what I meant. You know? Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome. When this comes out, this would be the this would be the family reunion event. So welcome to the first annual family reunion event. We are so happy to have you. I am Mitch Savage, and I'm with my brother Ernest right here, man. This is my dog. Me and Ernest been down for a couple years now, ain't it? Probably.
Right. It's been a couple years.
I was about to say it's probably longer than a couple of years when you actually think about it. Because I used to say when Dwayne, I used to say, man, I've known Dwayne for a little minute now. I used to say a couple of years. But then when I actually went back, because there's receipts, there's a certain movie that he dropped, and that movie was new when I first met him. Like he had just dropped it called Black Diamond. And I was gonna show my girl Black Diamond not too long ago. So I put it on the TV and whatnot. That bitch said 10 years ago. I said, I
know. Hey, that's dope though.
That's dope. That's dope. I call this dude my brother. Well, hey, Ernest. First of all, brother, I'd like to commend you. You know what I'm saying? Late Nights on Broadway.
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, you did your thing, brother. You did your thing.
Hey, I had fun. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I did the there's this little PDF app or whatnot when you sent me the joint, and I used that. So while I'm in the car and driving or whatnot, it actually read it for me. I was like, bro, hey, what? Hey, I don't want to spoil it because I still, we try and get people to go over there and check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
But hey, but I'm gonna say one thing, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when I say it. Bro, that kitty. Hey, my favorite character. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
She was dope to write. All of them are really dope to write, but yeah, she was something else. Yeah.
Hey, first of all, brother, you talking about like the setting. You dealing with the black mob, and you dealing with like a whole kind of like a power struggle sort of situation. How did you come up with that? Was there something that you watched? Is that like a time period that you were interested in? Like what? How did that come about?
Yeah, it's a culmination of all of that. Honestly, like it was a time period I was thinking about, and I'm like, man, just I've seen like from movies and just other stories in general, and I'm like, this is a real dope time period, like the 50s and stuff, like the Prohibition era before civil rights and all that. So like leading up to that, I really wanted to make a story that was like set in that time period. But also like I was inspired to have like the comedy elements to it by this is like my favorite movie of all time. I'm already blanking out on the name, but Harlem Nights. That's what it is.
Yeah, but I knew it. I feel like you got to say, because that's the vibe I got from it.
Yes, that's what I was trying to like create that vibe, and I'm like, yeah, I want the comedy aspect of it, but also like the seriousness, like to just hit you like at a different time. And I was like, yeah, if I could do that in this story here, man, I feel like I've done a great job at writing it. So that's pretty much how I created the story. And most of like my stories, especially this one, they start off like as a dream. So it was just weird where like I forget honestly like which, because it was so long ago when I first started writing this. But I forget which part was like the actual dream, but I was like, hold on, this reminds me of like I was saying, like Harlem Nights. But then I'm like, I want to make this like somewhat more serious than that, but like still keep the comedy aspect, because that's typically what I like to write anyways, is just comedy. But just so I was like, yeah, let me do that. Let me do something with this. So that's where it came from.
You did your thing, brother. Was it like was it like a sort of thing where you kind of winged it, or did you actually go deeper and say, let me do like some research on how like the mob was and how the inner workings was it, and you listen to Michael Francis or anything like that? Like how?
Yeah, so I definitely did some research. I wanted to make sure like there was a gun that I described, and that was real popular in the 1950s. I wanted to include that. I believe I described like one of the cars and one of the Lady Rose's perfume that she had on. It was like one of the perfumes that a lot of the high class women were rocking at the time. So I really wanted to have those elements in there. It was just, it was more so just like Googling, like just doing my research on that. Like, okay, what is this, what was popular during this time, and having that research and including that within the story. The language was, I feel as though I could have like done better research on like the slang in the language. I was just honestly winging it from like what I've seen, what I've read from other stories, other movies and stuff. So I'm like, okay, in the 50s, other video games as well that was like set in that time. So it's like I kind of wanted to use the type of language that they were using. So I guess I can count that as research. Like, but yeah, it wasn't like the in-depth research I was doing with like the perfume, the gun, the cars, and the clothing wear and stuff like that.
That's definitely a lot of research, though, brother.
Yeah.
As far as like the vernacular, like it, like obviously I won't guess. I don't really know how they talk, but I'm pretty sure with what you did in there, because it gave off the effect of, okay, this is the time period and the setting that these people have been engrossed in all of their life. So you really get the feeling that this is where they are and this is where they've been, and at the same time you keep it to a certain extent to where a modern person can read it and still follow along without being like, what does that mean? I'm lost. Right. Like you still manage to keep someone in the world and then keep it simple for those people who don't want to go that deep in. So yeah, exactly. Hey, brother, I'm so happy. I'm so happy when I was listening to this joint and reading it. I said, bro, I can't wait. I can't wait. So, like I say, we want people to go get. I'm trying to like steer away from the spoilers.
Hey, if you gotta give them a little something, go ahead. It might entice some folk, but
let me see.
Yeah, I mean,
sequel.
A
sequel, and when I'm saying sequel, it don't have to necessarily be those characters and what happens next, but it could be like same setting, different characters, different time, different story, kind of like a I don't know if you played it. I just finished playing this, like Red Dead Redemption versus Red Dead Redemption 2 sort of situation.
Yeah. I love that game. Honestly, like I don't want to even give away too much. So I'm currently writing a story that is set in the same time period, like at this moment in time as Late Nights on Broadway. It actually happened, I want to say it was probably like 4 years. I haven't decided, but it was like 4 years before the events that took place. Different characters, but it's set in the fictional city of Broadway. But also it does mention a few of those characters, like it does mention the Black Mob a lot, or a few times. But it's just totally different family, totally different situation, totally different people, but again, same setting. I was thinking of creating like somewhat of I'm not even like 100% on this yet, but like somewhat of like a spin-off of Late Nights on Broadway, because okay, the character that dies, I'm just gonna say that the character that dies, I wanted to create like a legacy for him. So he ends up having a child, but not by the individual who, is, I'm probably already saying too much, but we here, but like, but not by the individual that maybe some would think that he had the child by someone else. And that child grows up to honestly like live the life that his father was living, so it's like, I was thinking about something like that. I was thinking about definitely bringing back recurring characters from Late Nights on Broadway within that story. That's something I actually thought about like last year as I was like finishing up Late Nights on Broadway. And I'm like, yeah, this will be dope. But I haven't even like scratched the surface with that yet. I've been drafting this story that I'm working on right now. So, but that's what it is as far as sequels go.
I'm excited, man. So is that the only thing you're working on, just that one story, or do you kind of have a couple of them around? Like, I'll jump on this one and then I'll
jump on that.
Man, yeah, I'm always like, I talk to writers about this all the time. They hate that I do this, but I'm always jumping on like other stories because I'm always like, like I said, most of my stories come from dreams. So if I dream something, I'm like, I gotta start. I wake up at the middle of the night or the very next day. The first thing I do is get up, start writing down everything and stuff. So it's like from there, it's like, okay, I got to create this story. I got to start working on it. As far as right now, I'm working on a script for like hopefully my first animated TV show. It's about like these insects. It's called Insecticide. So like these insects are like they're living in this life, and the humans are actually like they're the villains of this show. One of the insects has teamed up with the humans, so it's kind of like a situation where it's gonna be like I want the vibe of like Teen Titans, like where it's like kids can watch it, but it's also like a mature audience in a way, not like super mature, but the young enough to young enough to enjoy the cartoon, but old enough to know like there's killing involved. So it's like so like that's I'm working on the first draft of that, like a very first rough draft of that script. So that's another thing that I'm working on. But yeah, like I'm just at the moment, as far as writing this other story, I'm always taking notes on my phone about other stories that I've been working on. And I was doing the same thing when I was working on Late Nights on Broadway. It's just, I feel like, though, that's how I work the best. It's like I have to, if I'm working on one story at a time, I think the other stuff just go away. And eventually, like, I end up finishing the stories because, they got completed. So it's not like I'm like totally abandoning whatever I'm working on at the time, but it brings back I guess the love for that story. I don't get bored of it if I hop to the next story or hop to the next script or whatever and start working on that for a bit. And then once I get to a standstill, or once I get to a level where I'm like, okay, I can go back to this other story, that's how I usually write these things.
Man, I got to ask you, like, from a writer's perspective, like, how do I say this? So for me, one of my problems as a writer that I have is I love the story and where it's going, or where it's going in my head at least, so much that sometimes I get anxious about having it out. And the fact that it's like progress may not be moving the way I want it to do. And that'll cause me, because I'm a person that jumps from project to project too. So that'll cause me to go, you know what? I've been working on this cartoon for like 3-4 years now. And I can't get the voice actors or whatnot. I done lost my papers that I wrote down an episode. I'm gonna just put this to the side, and I'm gonna work on Yu Yu Hakusho Spirit Game for a while. Then I get over here and I'm working on Spirit Game, and then it gets to the point where, okay, I need to go back to this cartoon. Now you don't really feel like it no more because you ain't. Like, have you had that type of feeling? And when you do, how do you work with it? Like, do you try and force yourself, or do you like, yeah, let me take time and get that love built back up?
Yeah, definitely. I've had that feeling all the time. I can tell you right now, with Late Nights on Broadway, as much as I love the story, I've done read it so many times. I'm like, all right, I'm already sick of y'all. Killed all y'all at the beginning. Like, but
Oh man.
But yeah, it definitely gets there. Like with all my stories, even with like the TV shows and short films or movies that I have played, and it just really, I just don't touch it until I feel like going back to it, and I just work on what's working at the moment. And if there's ever a point, because this happened a few times, I think this recently happened like a month ago or so, where there was something that I first started like drafting up, and I never got back to it because I was just like, you know what, like this, I'm not really feeling it. So it's something that I'm probably just going to end up scrapping, or if I leave it as is, I'll probably try to like give it to someone else and see what they do with it. So it's like that's something that I'm like open to. I've never done that before, but that's something I'm like open to say, hey, I started this thing and I can't really, I don't know where to go from here. So hey, it's yours. Hey, you should try, you like do
I
something.
see.
But yeah, as far as most of the time, it's really just leaving it alone, and eventually I get back to it because while I'm on my walk or just randomly or some moment, it's like I can do this with this story, or like I just go back and I try something, and I do force myself to get stuff down with this story right now. I feel like that I'm writing now, a lot of it is me like just literally forcing myself to create something. But then when I go back and read it, I'm like, yo, this is actually like I think it's good. So I'm like, I think it's working with this story. And it's weird because it's like, as a writer, like each story brings like it has its own life. And with its own life, it's like you have to treat it differently from other stories. So I feel as though this story that I'm working on now, it's probably one of those situations where I have to force myself to write it in order for me to, actually go back to it. Whereas again, with Late Nights on Broadway, there were times where I could just abandon it for some time, go back to it, and I'm like, all right, I got it. So it's long-winded answer, but like I can just it really depends on the story, but it's a culmination of just letting it breathe, letting it have its time to do its thing or whatever while I work on something else, and then try to go back to it and see what happens.
See, people don't realize, man, and I know you felt it, like the happiness that you get when you
Yes.
finally dropped it. I was there when you dropped it. So I
Yes.
know how happy you were. I know how happy I am when I finally drop something. And
Mm,
it's because people don't know, like as a writer, how easy it is to drop something off while it's still on paper.
yeah.
Like be like, just I ain't did nothing else with it. It's on paper. I ain't drop it. I don't think I told too many people about it. Like even though at one point you believed in this story 100%, like when you're at that point and you're frustrated with it, it's so easy to just ball it up, throw it over your shoulder, act like it never happened. Like I
Right.
know with stuff like there's been a couple cartoon series before the one I'm doing now that no one knew anything about because I was like, bro, I can't do this shit. So, and I
Yeah.
like with other things like the Spirit Gang, and I thank you for helping your voice acting in that joint. So I thank you so much. That's one of them things like I don't put too much out now. I got like I got to see it through, even if I don't want to.
That's what.
Like, so it's one of those things. Like I know it's hard to let it go. So have you ever done that where you let something go and later on you're like, I think I want to bring that back, or you hit to the point like I don't think I can bring it back, but I wish I didn't throw it away when I did.
So yeah, definitely the first one where it's like, and there's a couple stories now where it's like, man, I really want to do something. I'll give one example. So there's this again, a random dream. Like I get my dreams are just crazy. So there's this prison that there's this character, right? She is like she finds herself in prison. She gets locked up simply because like she's poor, straight up. Like that's like just there's other things behind it, but she ain't doing nothing wrong. Pretty much, like she got locked
Mm-hmm.
up and poor, and she ends up in this prison. But this is like a co-ed prison. This is set in the future, by the way. But it's not like a futuristic story. But it's like it's looking like modern times, but it's just like I think it's actually 2030 the year I decided. But so pretty soon. But like anyways, like she's in this prison. Uh she ends up getting raped. She ends up getting pregnant. And that is like her way of getting, I guess, free in a sense, because they're like, okay, we don't want the news to come out that this female inmate ends up getting raped, so we're going to let her go to her appointments, this, that, and the third. She was gang raped, and one of the dudes who end up doing it was he's got like this guilty conscience, this, that, and the third. So she's like trying to get him to go along with her master plan to pretty much take down this entire prison. Um, and I'm like, this is a story I really want to tell, but I'm stuck at a moment right now. And I definitely want to go back to it, but like it's like, yeah, it's like I can't just abandon this story here because I'm like, I feel like it's very it's intense. It's a hard story. It's not like the comedy I usually write where it's like it can be like super dramatic but silly. Like this is straight up like this is hardcore stuff. You know, we talking about rape here. So like that's always gonna be like a hard subject to touch.
Definitely.
Then you know, thing like the prison industrial system and all that. So it's like, yeah. So but I want to stick with it because it's tough subjects, and I'm like I want to not only stick with it because I feel as though it's a dope story to get out there and tell. It's something like totally different that I have honestly don't think I've seen. Like I've seen a bunch of prison shows, movies, things of that nature, but it's like I feel like a lot of them tell the same thing. And I get it, it's prison, so it's like the harshness of prison and all this other stuff. What else can you do about prison, right?
All right.
So like I get why it's always like that theme. But like I feel as though I can tell that same story just in a different way, or that same theme just in a different way. And like I said, the tough aspects of it, I want to just challenge myself to be able to write through these things and see it through. So like that's one of the situations there. As far as like stuff that I scrapped, honestly, like there were certain things where again, like I dreamt about it, wrote it down, and outside of my head, I was like, yeah, nah. So like I never went back to that. So that was those, and that happens often. Like that happens at least like 10 times a year. I'm gonna just say at least 10 times a year. So
The dreams, are you knocking off the dreams? Like, nah, I can't do that.
knocking off the dreams, but yeah, the dreams happen like often. Like it's crazy. I don't know what's going on. I just visions from God, I guess, but because it'd be like rent. I'm like, I didn't watch anything today. How am I dreaming about this? But hey, I take what I get. You know what I'm saying? And make something happen with it.
I don't know why, but I like imagine the dream that you had for late nights on Broadway, like the beginning of the Chris Brown "Give Me That" music video. It's like you should, woo! It's like, oh man, oh man, oh man. So you said that comedy is more so your lane when it comes to writing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So one of the hardest things I do, and I do it kind of with the original cartoon that I'm doing, is I grew up watching a lot of like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Teen Titans, Justice League, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, fantasy action sort of situation. So that's truly what I'm better at writing. But I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and writing like a slice of life sort of situation with this thing. And I guess that's why I'm so like hyped up when we're doing Yu Yu Hakusho, because it's like I'm kind of sort of writing what I'm used to writing. On top of this is something that I grew up watching, but it's just it's something about stepping outside of your comfort zone and getting in a different genre where it's like you have to kind of fight yourself for a little bit to get them shackles off of you and really get comfortable. So what was the process like that for you for like trying to get more serious and like let me actually do something that's gonna make a statement?
Yeah, honestly, it's a couple of things. The challenge aspect of it, just to see, like, because I'm like, I think I'm a great writer, and if I just hold myself to this one genre when I have all these ideas that are much more than just comedy, I feel as though I'm doing myself a disservice. So it's like it's that aspect as well. Like I said, the challenge, and just being able to learn and grow. Like I'm someone that just, especially when it comes to writing, I love learning about writing. I love learning techniques, learning like even if it's just something that I do once in a while or so, or just out the blue moon. It's like, okay, I want to learn it just so if the urge to write a fantasy story or you know a YA story or whatever the case is, um, like I can do it. Like I'd rather take the time to learn how to, you know, write a story like that and probably never write it ever than to have all these, let's just say romance, right? Have all these romance novels or romance movies or shows or whatever in my mind. And I'm like, but how do I even write it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mhm.
it's one of those situations there where it's like it's a love of learning. It's the challenge aspect, just to see if I can do it, and the just to get the ideas out. Like I said, it's like I have much more, and I love writing comedy because it's fun. But like drama is you know, it's a nice challenge as well. Other genres as well that I've delved into, was pretty fun as well. But comedy is just like I just like writing stuff, and then in the middle I'm cracking up like at what I'm writing.
Yeah.
That makes it much more fun. Time flies by, so it's like that's what it is with that. But um, yeah, it's like I said, it's the challenge, it's learning and um, being able to get the other ideas out of my head, pretty much.
Which as a writer, which genre would you say is your kryptonite?
Ugh,
Like something
hey,
that you like, bro. I don't think I could do nothing with that genre. Like which
yeah,
one would that
like
be?
it's all the genres everyone's always asking me to write. Fantasy, like fantasy. No, I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, I got one young adult story that is like I just like drafted like the first chapter, and that's something I'm gonna have to go back to because that's been on chapter one for like 2 3 years now. So that ain't gonna come out anytime soon. But like, as far as fantasy, yeah, man, like that's been. I tried writing like when I was in school. I tried writing like a somewhat of a fantasy story, like realistic fantasy story about like this girl group that ended up developing superpowers that affected the weather, and like natural disasters were happening because of their mood and shit like that. So it's like that might be like the one fantasy story I write. Like if that is, I guess, supernatural fantasy. Like, and that's the thing. Like I still struggle, and I like both genres and stuff. I'm more so into supernatural stuff, but I still struggle to even like figure out which is which at times. So it's like I feel as though
Yeah.
maybe until I actually get like a good grasp on this is fantasy, this is supernatural, and then I'll be able to write a story that is specific. But um yeah,
Yeah,
like that's
there's a fine line between those two.
exactly like
It is real muddy. Like they double dutch every now and then.
yeah, because I remember I was writing it, and then I'm like, hey, y'all check out this fantasy story. They're like, this is supernatural. I'm like, oh man, like so nothing is fantastical about it. They're like a little bit. I'm like, oh, so I had to put that down. So I'm like,
Oh
yes.
man. I
So
think
that's
one of my I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was just saying that's the one topic I would say. Well, one genre is fantasy, and I would say YA, but like I said, I did at least started a YA story, so I give it that.
So I think it's safe to assume that by now you've had some reviews come in, some people have sat down with you and tell you how they feel about not only this but your other works.
Mhm.
Um one of my things, like I said, I used to always grow up writing like the fantasy sort of situations. And my things were always heavily inspired from like Naruto and Dragon Ball and superheroes and things of that nature. And one of my biggest problems was people telling me how things should go in my story because
Yes.
of like how they scale, like it works this way in Dragon Ball Z, so it should work this way for you. This character shouldn't be stronger than this character. And I'm like, do you care about this more than me? Like, so what has there been like, and it doesn't even have to be like just with late nights on Broadway. Has there been like some complaints that people go like, why would you let this happen? Or, why did this happen? Or I think this should have happened. Or I didn't want this to happen to this character. Like, what have you heard so far?
So as far as like other stuff, I remember this was like a group project I was actually working on with a couple of folks. And we all had like our own scenes in a sense. So when it came to my scene, it was more so of like I thought the language they were using was like real weird, especially for like we were writing for teenagers, like in high school, and we was once teens, so we're gonna use slang, right? And like this is not like some like proper school. This is like a school in the inner city, but yet they're writing it like, straight up plain English. And then when I came to my scene, I'm right. I'm like, guys, this is how teenagers talk in the inner city. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be one. I know. Like so, it's like I'm writing for for that demographic. And it came, and they're like, yeah, we don't want the character to sound like. I think they were saying like they don't want the character to sound like they're forcing it like themselves to sound like they're from the inner city or something like that. But I'm like, you guys sound like you're from like London or something. Like some place in California or something, and you got these characters sounding proper as hell. So it's like it's stuff like that. That's what I got as far as like dialogue. But as far as like people telling me this, you should do this, you should do that. Honestly, I haven't gotten that much. One person who did end up reading Late Nights on Broadway, she was like, "Oh, Lady Rose, she better be dead. She better be dead." Like that was the response, and I'm just like, okay, you might be disappointed if but like, yeah. So it's like I've gotten that, but usually it's people just saying you should write this. Like I said, you should write fantasy. You should write young adults. You should write, all this other stuff, like things that is like totally different from what I typically write. That's most of the critique I've ever gotten. And it's like, well, my favorite author writes this, so you got to write this. Or my favorite show or something is Game of Thrones or whatever the thing is. So you got to write a show that is just like that, but better. And I'm like, no, I'm not James R.R. Tolkien. Whatever, is that his name, right? That's the guy who created it.
Yeah, I think it's R.R. Martin.
R.R. Martin, yeah.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't read it. I don't. Both palms up. Both palms up. 'Cause that's a strong fan base. Both palms up. I don't want no smoke.
It ain't my thing, but it's like I feel as though like that's what I've been told to write, like stuff like that, and just fantasy in general. And I'm like, guys, like and I hate when I get this comment where it's like, I want to support you, but you don't write fantasy, or you don't write this, you don't write that. And I'm like,
I hate that.
It's like the least you can do is at least share the book to someone who is into the genre of like comedy, drama, or whatever the genre of the book is. And that's how you can support me. You don't have to read it if that's not your thing. I don't want to force people to, read things that's not in their, niche genre, but you also should not force a writer, a creator in general, to start creating things that, they typically don't create,
He preached. He preached.
Yeah.
My bad, Ernest. I'm talking to them now. He preached.
Hey, I feel you.
It don't cost nothing to hit that share button.
It don't.
I see y'all out there paying for blue check marks. You can hit that share button. Mm-hmm. I seen it. You ain't got enough followers. You don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Why you got a blue check mark?
$8 a tweet. Like
$15 on Instagram a month for a blue check mark.
That's
and
crazy.
all you do is post memes on your story. You don't even do nothing. I'm not talking to nobody in particular. I just know there's some people that's gonna be like, "Well, this nigga is petty. He talking about me."
If the shoe fits, I'm just joking. Nah. But that's what it is. It's like I don't want people to I want people to consume the stuff they want to, of course, but like just that's the stuff that irks me is when I get told to write things or create things where it's like that's not really in my wheelhouse. Like I'm always willing to give stuff a try though. Like if it's like,
Mhm.
especially if there's like a team effort and it's like we want you to give this a try, that's gonna make me more like I guess wanting to give it a try rather than some random person that's like, yeah, I would buy your book, but it's not a fantasy, or I will buy your book, but it's not YA. So therefore, I'm not going to buy the book, and you should write this, and then therefore I'll buy your book because it seems like super entitled and stuff. And
Yeah,
weird.
like they're the end all be all for your career.
Yeah,
Like,
like oh, you need my sale. Okay, all
mhm.
right, I'm thinking that.
Yeah, it costs nothing to support people, y'all.
Right.
Please, I believe I bought the book on Amazon
Yep.
back during the Rizzle days. If
Mhm.
I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I think back during the Rizzle days I bought it, and then you sent me a PDF, and that's when I was like, okay, let me find something because I commute a lot nowadays, so let me find something where I can still like digest this when I'm like riding and whatnot. And
Right.
oh boy, I'm glad I did that because Jesus Christ, I know I started reading it way back then, but I don't think I ever finished it.
Mm.
So this is when I was like, oh, okay. It gave me such a Red Dead 2 vibe. Like
Ooh.
it's like it's like when they ended, I want more, but and
Mm.
you really don't like the story tops off cool perfectly, but you want more in the aspect that you done got so close to some of these characters. You like, I
Yeah.
don't want to like leave them where it left them. Like I want to know that they had a happily ever after, if like what's going on with it. So yeah, I'm a try and do a advocate campaign for a sequel. A
Hey.
sequel for a sequel, at least one of those like sequels like they did for Harry Potter at the very end, where they gave his son his own story.
Yeah,
Like at
yeah,
least
yeah.
one of them joints.
Yeah, like I said, there is something festering. Like honestly, I'll probably look more so into it sometime next week, if not tomorrow. But uh, what I started at least, and a lot of it is in my mind, and it's still here. So like it's still fresh. But like I said, I was like, hey, this could be something. Like I said, I will bring back a few recurring characters, but I wanted it to be the focal point to be the son and the mother and stuff, who wasn't a main character in the first in Late Nights on Broadway, but she is brought up. So it's like, um, yeah, just have that be like a focal point. But again, just carry on that story and see where that goes. So yeah.
So I've asked you this before, but we on camera this time. So just pretend this is the first time you heard it.
I
You ever thought about doing the audio books, the casting characters and whatnot, directing it, doing a little? Because technically they got this new thing now where it's like the audio dramas are starting to get back popular.
Mhm.
So
That's
this
that's
is
That's it. Yeah. Like that's the plan for this story. I want to say all of my stories, but I could be, if not all, at least most of them. I know the story that I'm working on right now. Once it's all said and done, same ordeal. I wanted to not just be seen on screen, but audio book as well, audio drama as well. But yeah, definitely for Late Nights on Broadway. I want to do that. Some of the reviews I got from that was someone was like, on like as I'm reading this, I can see this, like it's a like I could see the this being a movie, or like it's written like how like the pacing wise it's like it's got the pacing of a movie or an audio drama. And I'm like, that's funny you mentioned that because that's the plan. Like that's the goal for this. So like anybody who's a voice actor, like straight up, I think you will have fun with these characters. Yeah, I got you, Mitch. Yeah, definitely.
okay. Okay, I'll just make
Dwayne,
sure.
no, I feel like y'all are gonna have a great job with the characters, but like all of them, I feel as though I want y'all to have fun with it. But like, yeah, this is definitely audiobook worthy. It's movie worthy to me as well. So it's like, yeah, I have plans for all of that. It's just I'm gonna need y'all voice actors to do y'all thing and reach out. So yeah, and I'll be looking out for y'all as well.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Yeah.
The family reunion is the perfect place for you to say that, because there's gonna be some creators watching this, and truthfully, they trying to see themselves. No, you trying to see themselves. I don't want nobody acting funny. You were trying to see yourself. That's the real reason why you're watching, but you just so happen to see all these other creators. So yeah, I think we're gonna get some people that's gonna be hitting you up after that, man.
Hey, I'm open for it. Like it's like I said, I think I had fun writing it. I enjoyed writing these characters. So to see them be brought to life, that's going to be like, honestly, that's going to be a dream come true. Like that's going to be like, y'all are going to make my dream come to life. And I'm about to cry right now. So let me stop. Let me not.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. It's something different when they jump up off that page, man.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like I created, like it's like that when I put the book out, like I created this thing, but to see them come to life, and I'm like, yo, that's Kenny Black, yo, that's Kitty, yo, I created this person, I created this world. It's insane. So it's like that's crazy.
I can't wait, man. That's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey. I'm gonna love being a part of, bro. I'm gonna try and make you proud, man. Whatever you give me, I'm gonna try and make you proud. I swear to God.
I got the role for you. I'm gonna think, but like I think I got the role for you. Again, I need men, women. So like again, y'all like just come through, and we'll do some auditions and stuff. And even if you're like, hey, I think the character should say this line and that line and whatever, do it. Like put your own little spin on it as well, because I'm just the writer. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are the actors, y'all know, okay, if I'm playing this role, this is how this person would say it. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, it might sound a certain way. Like with the character Kenny Black, he got a raspy voice, but if someone is like, his voice needs to be more so this tone or whatever, and I'm like, I see it be that way, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And he yells a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Anybody out there that's comfortable with yelling a lot, you might, you know what I'm saying? Like, got you. But like he's a yeller. So like, yeah. But yeah, man, it's just audiobook is definitely and like audio dramas is definitely something that I want to do with this story and other stories going forward as well.
So, in case anybody didn't notice, up under my name over here, there's not under that. So, a lot, and it's easily misconstrued because I'm in a lot of my own stuff, but it's because how difficult it can be in the process of trying to find someone, especially at the level that I'm at this point in time. So, that's leading me to my question: are you planning to play somebody in this audio drama for Late Nights on Broadway? And if you are, I think you could drop a name. It's cool to drop a name because you ain't really telling too much. So if you are, who you got?
Damn. Honestly, I've seen myself playing myself in other stories that I have drafted up. Not necessarily Late Nights on Broadway, unless there was like a like the narration parts, and then that was going to be me. Or at least
that would be dope.
Yeah, I plan that to be me. But if I could get like a Morgan Freeman, it's up now. But yeah, like that was or 50 Cent even. I think the Players Club. Players Club. But like, yeah, as far as a part, I honestly don't see myself playing a part in this story. It's honestly like I want to see other people get these characters, and even with the other stories, honestly, like I see myself playing parts, but like a minor character that does make like a somewhat of like a big impact. Like he's there and for like a scene, and it's at random, and it's like, okay, something he said stuck around with in the entire movie or story or whatever the case is. So that's
Like a
something I see.
Stan Lee sort of figure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I'm like,
Not
yes.
every hero wears capes, you know. Walks off into the sunset.
If I could pull the Stan Lee in my stuff, and I'll probably even think about it with Late Nights on Broadway. I'll have to like read the story again and see can I pull a Stan Lee here? Some like I'll see.
Just write a waiter in at one of the spots. Your drink, sir. Well, that's the writer right there. That's Ernest right there.
Yeah. So like that's something I plan on doing with like I said with other stories, not necessarily this one, but hey, we'll see.
Hey man, you like I said, you did your thing. Thing. I'm proud of you. If don't nobody else tell you, I'm proud of you, man. You did something amazing. It's nowhere up but up from here, brother. So
hey man, yes,
keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Once again, I thank you for everything that you've done for me recently and with the projects that we're making, because you don't have to do it. So there's many thanks to you. As I tell you, like I tell Dwayne, anything you need, I'm gonna be here, brother. I'm gonna be here every time.
I appreciate you. The pleasure's on mine. I appreciate you for just reaching out, always supporting, always been a genuine dude. Great content. So of course I gotta support that. That alone is stuff. So it's like, yeah, but man, I appreciate you reaching out and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. If I got to ask you one last thing, it would be, it's about to be a one.
I don't even know. Like I got an idea. But, hey, go ahead and ask it.
Oh, it would be, is there something within this book or something else in something maybe you're writing or maybe you written that would cause you embarrassment? Like, I hope this don't ever, I don't want nobody to really read this real, or I ain't think this all the way through when I.
Ugh. That's the crazy thing about everything that I write. I want to include at least one thing, if not an entire story, where I'm like, yo, if people was like, Ernest wrote that Ernest, they'd be like, yo, this nigga on. So like that's the challenge of this story. So yeah, definitely there was something in Late Nights on Broadway where I was like, I'm gonna describe the scene just a bit. It's the scene with Rocky and at the hotel. That scene. Yeah. So I was like, I think people gonna think I'm crazy after reading this. So it's like, but I was like, fuck it, it's going in. And this story right now, it actually got to do with like prostitutes trying to get out the life. So I'm like writing from the perspective of these prostitutes, and that's weird. I ain't gonna front. This is some weird ass shit. So it's like, I'm like, hey, yo, like it's a lot of that going on right now. I ain't gonna lie. So it's like, but it's uncomfortable. But like I said, it's a challenge, and I'm putting myself through it. And that's something that like I said, I strive to do with everything that I write. Whether it's a story, it's a short script, long form TV show, movie, whatever the case is, I try to, again, fulfill the dreams that I have. But also, if there's something uncomfortable about it, whether it be a scene or an entire story or just even an entire chapter or just one episode, it's like go with it, let it flow. And I'm just happy that I got it out there. Like if people judge me for it, it's like, hey, listen, creators create. That's what I'm gonna say. Like
there you go.
Great, at least I had the guts to put it out there. I'm pretty sure there's some things that people like, even if you're not a creative, there's some things you've always wanted to do, but you was afraid of the judgment and you stop yourself from doing it. Whereas with me and other creators, and I know you can attest to this as well, it's like you do it and it's like, hey, like I did it. So it's like I didn't allow fear of judgment. I didn't allow the uncomfortable feeling I had writing a scene or creating a scene to stop me from going forward with it. So like, yeah. So that's what it is.
Hey, brother, it's nothing like that feeling where you hit that point where you're like, well, I think I can do this for real. Like,
Right.
this might be something. I ain't told you the story. I was I've been sharing like bits and pieces of the Yu Yu Hakusho thing that we're doing, and I was doing the I did the I don't think I sent it to you the teaser with Linda Young.
I don't think I got that.
I gotta send it to you after this.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see.
Yeah, I edited her junk in there and I did it. And this is a little teaser. And it was this one dude that he's one of my best friends. And I sent him like the first episode draft that everybody that's been working on it has seen. And he was like, yeah, this is pretty funny. And he wasn't really looking at it. I told him like later on I wanted to have like a Dragon Ball Z abridged sort of thing where it's funny, but at the same time you can kind of take it as its own thing and like love these characters in their own way in this different version of them. So he was looking at it like it's a YouTube parody. That's how he viewed it. So that's pretty much how he looked at the height of it. But in this scene, I had to do Yusuke's like his super move, which is Spirit Gun.
Yeah.
And I had to, it's anime, so you got to yell, you got to put some emphasis in there. And I was embarrassed to do it because my girl was here and Nessa was outside. And like I had to do it a couple times. So like it won't a one take Drake. Right. There was one point where I did it, and then I took off my headphones and I heard Nessa go, "Daddy, you too loud." And I was like, oh. I was like, I'm in here, I'm trying to do something. Baby, it's Linda Young. I grew up watching her. I can't half-ass it. Linda Young in here. Spirit Gun. Like but by the time I did it and I got the tape that I wanted, edited it up and sent it to him, and he was like, bruh, I was just looking at this like a joke, but once I heard you hit that Spirit Gun, you got this, man. Like, this might be something. So I'm like, bruh, I'm so happy, and I can't wait for people to see like Dwayne. I don't know if you've seen the updated draft where Dwayne was playing Kuwabara, like that's in there now. Dwayne made that bit more like better than I could have imagined. Yeah. Space and opportunity, baby. like this dude. And I can't wait to play Kurama or Karama. I got to figure out the pronunciation. People do both. I think I'm like Karama. I think we're gonna go with Karama. Yeah. Shit, that could be a joke when people say it. Especially in the newest script that I sent you, one of the biggest jokes I know that we're gonna play is in the original Kurama. Like he's not gay, but he's effeminate. He's the effeminate anime character that kind of flosses around. He has like rose related abilities and whatnot. So the joke that I'm thinking for Kurama is that he just a regular nigga. Like that's all outward appearance. Like he's just a regular. But people accuse him of being gay every now and then. Like in the I think I sent everybody the new script for the short special that we were doing, and that was one of the things in there. It was a whole thing about a joke on how they're trying to force Yu Yu Hakusho to continue, and they're trying to be like, maybe Yusuke could have a kid, and maybe the kid can be gay, and Yusuke's like, nigga, that's forced. What do you mean? And Kuwabara talking about, yeah, you can't just use gay people for no reason, right, Kurama? And Kurama's like, nigga, I'm not gay. This is like it's a whole thing. It's like I can't wait to see y'all play this and be hollering. Yeah. And the fact that we pretty much got everybody got me excited too. Like there's nobody we're lacking. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I got to send you that. I didn't know I didn't send it to you because I'm so proud of that.
For sure. But like I appreciate you reaching out. Like I said, I'm going to do my best with that character. Like I'm already like, hey, I could probably try to do something with that. Like see what's up. But like, hey, I can't wait.
I know you gonna kill it, man, because the whole thing about him is I'm trying to make him like a chill dude, and that's already you. So it works out perfect. It works out perfectly. And Dwayne, like he got that. It's something about Dwayne and comedy, man. So Dwayne's like I don't know if he gives himself that much credit, but this dude's like a juggernaut when it comes. He he is amazing at comedy, and I love doing comedy shit with him. You see us collab, most likely that's what it is.
Yeah.
But when he get in his drama bag, bruh, it's something about that one scene in one of his movies. It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
This dude he gets shot.
Yeah.
And when he gets shot, it's so like the reaction is so realistic. Like he get away from the people that shooting him. He kind of ducked off in the corner and like reflecting on the fact that these niggas tried to kill me. It's like the tears are coming, and I'm like, bro, like you forget it's Dwayne for a minute. That's how good that he is. You're like, yo, you hit that bag, bro. I'm trying to be like that.
Multifaceted for sure. Like I saw that movie, I was like, yo, this dude, like I knew he was funny and I knew he could act, but I was like, hey, like this is I know it's on Tubi and people are gonna assume, like I was telling folk about it. I'm like, bro, this ain't like your average Tubi movie and stuff. And like nothing against that, because I think that stuff is, it's got its place, but I'm like, yo, go check it out. I don't know if they did or not, but like, yeah, like he's real dope with just comedy, and he could get into that drama bag. So I was like, he's definitely someone I gotta, tap, in the future roles and stuff.
Yeah. The three of us are juggernauts together, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm super excited. I think this is actually like the first genuine project that we're working on. And if we jump to that late nights on Broadway, I promise I'm not gonna let you down. I'm so ready.
Hey,
I'm so ready.
It. Yes. Listen, like it's gonna be fun working on anything. Like I said, I really appreciate you just reaching out. Because I'm excited. And what you needed me to do for this character or just anything else, let me know, and I got you.
I got you, brother, man. Tell these people before we let you go, man. Tell these people where they can find you at, where they can get the book and whatnot, and let them know where to tap in.
All right. So as far as where you can find me, honestly, I've taken a social media break. I don't think I'm ever gonna get back on. Well, I mean, Facebook. I've decided I'm an old nigga now. So like Facebook is gonna be being on Facebook. So you can just add me on Facebook, Ernest Sandiford. If Facebook is your thing. If you really want to keep in contact, I have a monthly newsletter that I put out, but we can always keep in contact via email. And WhatsApp as well, if that's something that you want to do. I am on Twitter, but I only go on there when I want to post like something I'm doing, and then I get the fuck off because Twitter is So
Twitter is the wild, wild west of the internet. God. Yeah,
so it's like I got to a point where I'm like, I got to get off this dang app or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep it, but I ain't gonna be on. So, but I mean, if you want to connect on there, it's you love Ernest, you_love_ and then Ernest. You can find me there as well. Late Nights on Broadway. It's out. You find that on Amazon. Is a bunch of the other stores. There's Drafted Digital. You can find it on Apple Books, Kobo, Barnes and Noble. I think they have it. I'm trying to work on getting it in one of the local stores here. But yeah, Amazon is like your best bet in other stores as well. Smashwords, you can both buy the physical and ebook version of the book. Yeah, like just
so there's physical versions out there.
Oh yeah, there's physical versions. Yeah, there's physical versions.
Actually, just out in the wild right now.
Just out here, just out there. Like again, get it on Amazon. I think Barnes and Nobles. Not every Barnes and Nobles got it, but like I know out here in Boston, at least, there's a few Barnes and Noble stores that have it. Most of it, I've seen it was online. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, you can get both the ebook and physical version of it. And as I stated before, I'm definitely working on the audio book for it. So please, like voice actors, like reach out to me if you want. If you're interested, I'll send you a PDF of the book, free PDF. You go check it out. Check out the characters. We can connect. Send me some things. See like some audio clips of you doing some things or whatever, and we can go over which character I see you playing. All that stuff. So like, yeah, I'm always, like I said, I'm always writing, I'm always working. and always open to work with like other creators in general, not just other writers, but just creators in general. Anything that I can do, especially if it's on the writing side, let me know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really.
Definitely we'll get to a certain point with both Spirit Gang and this cartoon brother. If you want to join the writing team,
Hey.
more than willing. More than willing. I need all the help I can get. You can look at Dwayne, bro. I respect your craft a whole lot if I allow you to write. Really, really, in the recent 10 years, Dwayne's been the only person I ever trusted to touch something to be like, hey, bro, you can change this if you want.
Hey, all right.
Bro, I'm more than willing to give you the reins to something and be like, bro, Ernest, do whatever you feel like you need to do with that.
Oh man, I appreciate that trust, man. I appreciate it. I know it's a lot. It takes a lot to even say that and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I appreciate that. Also, I forgot to mention Facebook and LinkedIn pretty much are the two socials you can find me on. Again, LinkedIn, same thing, Ernest Sandifer. Sandifer spelled Sandefer. You see my name, my first name spelled there. So like, yeah, just, either or is fine. But yeah, like that's where you can find me. And once again, late nights on Broadway everywhere, pretty much. So like, yeah, Amazon, Kobo, Apple, Drafted Digital, Smashwords, a bunch of other stores that I'm forgetting. All right, so like, it's there though. It's there.
Don't mind me, y'all. I'm actually trying to get my physical copy right now. I'm trying. It's a physical copy.
Hey, like yeah, they got the physical. Physicals are out.
I got to get that physical. I got to put that on my bookshelf. Oh hell no! Ernest.
Yeah. You get the physical copy. Yeah, it's paperback, so yeah, it's not going to take up much space. Nicely covered, designed by yours truly, myself. I designed the cover and all that.
The cover's fine. The cover is fine. I'm telling y'all.
Use my little graphic design skills for some. So like, yeah. So that's what it is.
Take it back. Yep, there you go, right there.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. You think I'm bullshit? I am actually. Hey, bro, you know how long it took for Scare Crazy to get to me, like the physical copy of that movie.
Really?
I'm like, bro, me and Dwayne, I'm finally in with this nigga's movie, and it took almost, I don't know, he can correct me, but I think it took a little over 6 months of me trying to order this thing. It kept selling out. I'm like, Dwayne, the movie too good. Wow. It keeps selling out. I'm in it. I can't get me a copy. Like,
hey, I'm trying to have them problems, honestly. So like, hey, I'm trying to have those problems. So hey, y'all create those problems for me. I buy the book, physical copy, get the ebook version as well. And like I said, voice actors alike. Voice actors are, non-voice actors, but you still using your voice. So, reach out. Now. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, there goes my thing. Hey,
so don't get up there and act like you don't know what it looked like. That's what it looked like right here.
Yep, that's that. So, yeah, that's what it is. I love it.
Yeah. Brother Ernest, we're so glad to have you up here. Thank you for coming through to the family reunion, showing love, showing your face. We're gonna have you up here once more for the Spirit Gang panel for Yu Yu Hakusho. But I'm so thankful for you, brother. I wish you many more days of success. Hey, this thing is about to do numbers. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
I'm with it.
I'm telling you.
And I'm with it. I appreciate you again for having me, and I can't wait to be on the panel. I can't wait to be a part of the show. I can't wait to see what else you got going on and whether it relates to me or not. And wish you all the success. Continue doing your thing. Like I said, you've always been just a great dude, great person, great content supporter, and all that stuff. So yeah, always got to show love.
This brother trying to make me cry. Ain't gonna do it.
Hey, I was about to cry earlier. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna see you guys, man. Just stay tuned.